From hobby farmers to weekend gardeners and everyone in between, Tractor Supply trusts 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business to make shopping more personal. Together, we're connecting over 2,200 stores with 5G business internet and powering AI so team members can match shoppers with products faster.
You're all set.
This is enriching customer experience. This is Tractor Supply with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
I'm Peter Schrager, host of Good Morning Football on the NFL Network and the Season with Peter Schrager podcast. Whether you're ordering wings for the game or you're whipping up a 7-layer dip or you're ordering a pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food, no matter what you're craving. From 2-for-1 pizzas to buy one, get one wings to whatever it is you want, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week all season long. Uber Eats is the official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms and conditions apply, and see the app for details.
Welcome into a Week 13 Giants Hangout brought to you by Crestron. My name is Madelyn Burke, joined as always by Russ Salzberg and Matt Citak. And guys, Week 12 did not go as the Giants would have hoped. Obviously, they made a huge change coming out of the bye, making a change at quarterback, going from Daniel Jones to Tommy DeVito and waiving DJ. Dable said, with that move, he looked at Tommy DeVito, said, this is somebody who could possibly provide a spark. That spark didn't come early enough in the game as they would have hoped, Russ. And the Giants offense only put up 7 points in the loss.
Well, listen, Madelyn, you and I bumped into each other. What was it? I think between quarters or something in the press box, and we just looked at each other like, never. Whoever saw this coming, nobody could have seen this coming. And as far as supplying some spark, there was no spark. There's no defending what happened. So what do the players need to do? They got to get themselves. They got to look in the mirror and get themselves out of it. We've been hearing this business about the players frustrated, with players angry after the game. Well, Madelyn, you and I are in the locker room every day. I want them to be frustrated and ticked off and miserable. They should feel that way. That's the only way they're going to get out of this. There is no defending 2-9, not for anybody. They need to wake up and do something about it. Yes, the quarterback change was made. It didn't supply any spark. Everybody has to be better across the board, starting with the quarterback. I mean, Tommy is going to get himself another chance Thursday, and let's hope he makes it a happy Thanksgiving. But Tommy was not sharp. I think he was sacked 4 times. 2 of those sacks were his fault. It just has to be better all the way around. We love Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone, you can't put the ball on the ground. And across the board, defense, we get down to the 5-yard line. Tyrone fumbles the ball. They march 95 yards. Where was the pass rush? I'm defending the Giants in that I believe they are better, but believing and seeing is 2 different things. Show me. That's what they need to do. And they need to show the fans that.
Yeah. I mean, the first half of that game on Sunday against the Bucs was sort of like a perfect storm of just everything bad happening that could. I mean, the game started, the Giants won the coin toss, deferred the kickoff to the second half, and the Buccaneers got the ball and proceeded to drive 70 yards down the field, took 14 plays, over 8 minutes of game clock, and punched it in for a 1-yard touchdown run. So before the offense even took the field, we were over halfway done through the first quarter. The defense, after such a long drive, was pretty kind of tired, which who's to blame them for that after being on the field for so long? But then the offense, when they got the chance, couldn't really muster anything. I mean, I think the Giants totaled 45 yards of offense in the first half. I think it was 3 total first downs. And then the defense also kind of, after that touchdown drive, they stopped Tampa Bay, which was great. But then the next 3 drives, they allowed points on all 3 drives. And so the Giants went into halftime and it was already 23-0, with the offense having not had any success in the first half, the defense really struggling to stop Tampa Bay at all. And that sort of just it seemed like it deflated the whole team at halftime. I mean, you go into halftime, it's already 23-0, not to mention Malik Neighbors, who's your best playmaker, hasn't even touched the ball yet. I mean, it was just perfect storm of bad things coming together. And, when you go down 23-0 at halftime against a team like the Buccaneers, who are a very good offense and a solid defense, that's tough to come back for any team. It's tough to come back from a deficit like that.
Matt,
we got 45 yards on 18 offensive plays in the first half. Like that's tough production right there.
No, I was going to say to both of you, we've been talking, throughout the season about they need to play complementary football. And what we got to see on Sunday was uncomplimentary. And I'm glad you brought that up, Matt. So the Giants win the toss and defer. And I thought that was a good thing. I'd say, you know what? Let Tommy DeVito and the offense, let's take a look. Let's give them a little breather. Let them get juiced up on the sideline. And maybe the defense can get something going, right from the get-go and get the team revved up. But as you say, 8:23, 8 minutes and 23 seconds, a 14-play drive on 70 yards. The air was taken not just out of the team, but out of the building. People were, they walked in, there was a feeling, okay, it's a new era. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we can do. But the exact opposite happened. And then, as Matt said, then afterwards, it just snowballed. I mean, it was over early, and they can't have that happen this Thursday in Dallas.
Looking for the best way to win huge prizes during one of the best NFL weeks of the year? Look no further than DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. This Thanksgiving, you can play free for a $1 million top prize. That's right. Any customer, new or existing, can play free for the $1 million top prize with their next $5 deposit. Make it a really happy Thanksgiving with DraftKings. All customers download the DraftKings app and use code DK1. That's code DK1 to play free for a shot at the $1 million top prize. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. 18 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. Minimum $5 deposit required. Reward issued as $5 ticket for November 28 Fantasy Football Millionaire Contest. See DraftKings.com/DFS for details.
Yeah. And I mean, even in recounting the game, I mean, players spoke to the media on Monday, and Micah McFadden was talking about the comments because after the game, a lot of players saying, we were soft out there. Dexter Lawrence, one of the team's leaders, one of the captains in this locker room, saying, I didn't like how we played. We were soft. And, Micah McFadden said, I would never want to hear that as a player. Somebody thinks I'm playing soft. That's an embarrassing statement to hear, especially as a linebacker. But he says, I don't think we're a soft team. I wouldn't accept that, but we've just got to stay focused. And I feel like we got dominated out there. And, when you look at the way that the players have been holding each other accountable and kind of calling each other out, not in a personal way, but just in a way of like, this is not to the level of expectation of the New York Football Giants, of a professional football team. And the players in the locker room are looking for that accountability within each other. Matt, that's got to be something that could inspire a get right game on Thursday of like, let's go out and show who we believe we are, not just as a team, but as individuals.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, the way I kind of look at it is, based on how just about all sides of the ball performed on Sunday, it can only go up from that. I mean, the team can only improve in, just about every area. I mean, you just brought up some of the comments that were made, and like Micah McFadden talked to the media yesterday. Well, one of the big weaknesses of the Giants during this now 6-game losing streak has been the run defense. I mean, the Giants have really, really struggled to slow down opponents on the ground. I mean, during the last 6 games, the defense is allowing 175 rushing yards per game. And to put that just into contrast, the Panthers currently have the number 32 ranked rush defense in the NFL on the season, and they're giving up 160.5 rushing yards per game. So the Giants during this 6-game losing streak are 15 yards worse than the worst team. So the rush defense especially needs to step up. And this Thursday's game against Dallas is a great opportunity for that unit in that area in particular to step up, because while the Dallas offense did show some signs of life this past Sunday against the Commanders, it wasn't really in the run game. I mean, Cooper Rush had a solid game. The defense and special teams played well, but the Cowboys really all season have not had that much of a run game. So if there's really was a perfect game for the Giants defense to get back on track, and especially against the opponent's run game, it's this Thursday against the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, I think you hit it on. This is a game. It's Thanksgiving. Yes, it's a short week. No excuses. Just go and take care of business. Give your fans, give your coaches, give your fellow teammates something to be happy about. Madelyn, you brought out a point, Micah McFadden, and not just Micah. One thing I want to clear up here. We've been hearing things about the locker room and reading, and I just did my own get a load of this podcast before I'm coming on here, and I said it's a bunch of lies. Are guys frustrated in the locker room? Yes, they are. Are they ticked off? Yes, they are. But we're in it every day. It's not a toxic locker room. It's not a fractured locker room. They're not griping with each other. When you lose like that, as I said to start, Madelyn, I want them angry. I want them annoyed. I want them fed up, and I'm not going to take this nonsense anymore. But to say that the locker room's lost and there's no faith in the coaches, that's a lie. It's a complete falsehood. And the fans should know that, especially fans here on a Hangout need to know 2-9, no defending 2-9. But don't tell me it's a bad locker room and guys are fed up and the coaches and this and that. That's not the truth.
From hobby farmers to weekend gardeners and everyone in between, Tractor Supply trusts 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business to make shopping more personal. Together, we're connecting over 2,200 stores with 5G business internet and powering AI so team members can match shoppers with products faster.
You're all set.
This is enriching customer experience. This is Tractor Supply with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
Absolutely. And, these guys, if anything, they're just frustrated with the lack of execution. They know, hey, we go out there, we practice way too hard to be executing this way with the missed tackles and whatnot out there. They know, and they're frustrated with the things they got to get right. And the question kind of baffling us all is, okay, how does that correction happen? How does that correction translate to the field, to a game day? Tommy DeVito talked about, offensively, the first half, he said, it was kind of taking a while to figure out what they were showing us. And once we got into a rhythm, of course, DeVito had to get used to getting hit. He hadn't had live action football since preseason. He hadn't played quite a bit. He was the, QB3. So he got into a rhythm late in the game. And we saw that fourth quarter, they got a touchdown. They had a couple other long drives. And, even towards the final seconds of the game, they were taking shots at the end zone. So it was a late arriving rhythm for the offense. If that late arriving rhythm can continue over on a short week, because again, as a player, the best thing you can have when you have a performance like that you are embarrassed by, that you feel like that doesn't define us, is a short turnaround. Get back on the field and play another game and show you this is who we believe we are. And so this Giants team going to Dallas, and yes, it's a division rival. It's a division game against a Dallas Cowboys team that's coming off a win in Washington, but has yet to win at home at AT&T. It's going to be an interesting matchup on Thanksgiving Day. Matt, are the Giants going to give us something to be thankful for?
I mean, I sure hope so. A reason for, I guess, at least a little bit of optimism is if you look back at what Tommy DeVito did last year in the 6-game stretch that he started, the first game that he started for the Giants was that game in Dallas where the Giants got blown out. And Tommy, honestly, in that game didn't look that great. However, that was his first start. The next week was when they went to Washington, and Tommy had his best game as an NFL quarterback with almost 250 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interception. So maybe this was just a situation where, as you mentioned, Madelyn, Tommy's first start hasn't really taken any game reps since the preseason. That's a couple of months. That's a long time. Maybe he just had to, shake some of the dust off. And now that he's kind of got his feet underneath him a little bit, he'll show a little bit, more confidence, both in himself and in his teammates. I think also the coaching staff kind of got an idea of maybe what works and what doesn't with this year's Giants team with Tommy DeVito under center. And so going into Thursday's game, especially because we don't, looking at the injury report, we don't know who exactly is going to be playing and who's going to be out. I mean, at least in Monday's walkthrough, both of the Giants starting offensive tackles from Sunday's game did not participate in practice. Jermaine Illuminor and Evan Neal both dealing with respective injuries. So
when Illuminor left the game, Evan Neal finished throughout the game, but different elements there, but that's a significant one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so especially if one or both of those guys aren't out there, or even if they are, the coaching staff is really going to need to come up with a game plan to sort of deal with Dallas's pass rush, because you can say what you want about the Cowboys defense this year. Any unit with Micah Parsons coming out after your quarterback is still a very dangerous pass rush. And so the coaching staff can kind of come up with smart strategic ways for Tommy to get the ball out quickly, maybe get the ball into Malik's hands right after the snap in order to sort of, compromise that talented Dallas pass rush. So the Giants have obviously lost 6 straight games, but this is a winnable game. Dallas coming off a win, but they just have not been that good this season. So some reasons for optimism heading into this Thanksgiving matchup.
Normally, I don't like these 4-day weeks. I think it's very difficult for everybody, especially the players. I mean, it's a grind. That said, though, I'm glad the Giants have to play on Thursday. They had a miserable last game. Let's get the taste out of our mouths quickly. Let's do something about it. You're on national TV. Show your pride. Show what you're made of. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and win a football game by any means necessary.
By any means necessary, indeed, especially when it's a game in the NFC East. We've got Giants Cowboys Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, 4:30 Eastern kickoff in Dallas. And we'll be keeping you up to date with all the latest on Giants.com and the Giants social apps. But for Russ Salzberg and Matt Citak, I'm Madelyn Burke. That's a wrap for Week 13 Giants Hangout, brought to you by Crestron. We'll see you next time.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food, no matter what you're craving. From 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings. Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week all season long. Uber Eats, the official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals on holiday decor, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards, because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See lowes.com/terms for full details, subject to change.